Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up we have something special. The nice folks over at Plunderlings and Lone Coconut sent me over a couple of different Plunderlings figures to check out for you guys, to give my honest review and feedback, to let you guys know all about them. Now, I've seen pictures posted all over Instagram, and there's been a lot. I know there's a bunch of videos on YouTube already. I went back and checked out the Kickstarter Campaign website, and some really cool things. They were able to raise over $120,000, which is awesome. They almost doubled over their goal. So they became really popular. There was a bunch of ones that in stretch goals that were exclusive through the Kickstarter and everything like that. There is a new round of figures that are available for pre-order still, I think, through like Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. I'll have links in the video description below to Entertainment Earth. So just really exciting things. The box is really cool. So you can see it's just kind of like the actual Plunderling. So depending on which one you have, here we have the Berserker Spurt. And here we have the Cursed Fury. So really cool. You get the color of the crate based on the color of the Plunderling. Up at the top you can see some of the accessories. Each one does come with 3 different head sculpts. So we got the 2 extras there. We get an extra pair of hands. And then I think each one's got a hat and some accessories in there. So I'll be excited to show you guys that there. But I really like the crate design of the packaging. It's actually really cool. We get some feet there. You can see ages 8+, Lone Coconut. So kind of exciting. So let's get these things out of the boxes or crates. Okay, so opening the package, one thing to note here, it says Plunderlings. These toys were constructed and hand painted with great care. Please carefully loosen the joints after unboxing. You may need to apply heat with a hairdryer. We hope playing with these brings you the same joy and happiness we felt while making them. We are extremely grateful to the fans that brought this project to life. For more information, visit plunderlings.com, and I will put the link to the website down in the video description below. Here's a fun little thing. It actually comes with these ear flaps that you can put, there's like a little slit right here in the box. You could put these ears in there, and you could tape them on in the inside so they'll just hold in there nicely, but they kind of flare out, kind of like the actual, Plunderling's head. So that is actually a nice little touch they did. Makes it a little bit fun. Okay, and here are the Plunderlings out of the package, and these guys are actually really fun. I just spent a few minutes kind of messing around and playing with them. They come with all kinds of accessories. They come with 3 heads in total, 1 extra pair of interchangeable hands. They each have like a weapon, as you can see. They each have a hat, and they each have 1 additional accessory. So like the Cursed Fury has the goblet there, and the Berserker Spurt has like this shell right there. So really cool. And one thing that I didn't notice before, or didn't know this ahead of time, we get these little clips here, and they go to certain ones, so they're not all the same. As you can see, this is a darker brown, this is a lighter brown, so this one goes to Spurt. So here on the back, that hook is not already there, so that's what these are. You each get 3 hooks for each of the figures, so you could do stuff like this. Then you can see that little peg hole there. You can add one there, and then there's another peg hole here, so you could do that for Spurt. Now, I haven't taken the jacket off of Cursed Fury yet, but I know that here on the side we have a peg hole there. Oh, there is one there on his back, and then one there for his 3 hooks there. So really cool. Let's get in for a closer look and take a look at these 2 little goblin guys, and then we'll take a look at the accessories and talk all of the good stuff about Plunderlings. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Cursed Fury first. So looking at the head sculpt here, we get this nice shading of an orangey color right there on his inner ear, so that looks really good. We get these baby blue eyes with a little bit of white glare, and then we got a couple of white teeth showing through there. We got yellow for his nails on his toes and his hands. He has his black jacket with some yellow trim to it, and we have black pants, gray cuffs there, and then he has a white rope, a belt, and that all looks really good. Now, I know I have seen pictures you can remove the coat. I will do that at some point later on in the video, but I want to show like his hands. So out of the package we have these 2 open hands, as you can see there, and then in the package we got these holding hands, so he can actually hold like his staff weapon, which is like an anchor there. So that looks really cool. Nice silver paint to it, white or off-white bandaging there to a brown staff. Looks really good, and it slips on the hand, that open holding hand, no problem, as you can see there. Nice and easy. So that is really cool. It comes with this pirate hat here. As you can see, a little bit of red and blue there. A little bit of gold trim on the inside. That looks good. And all the hats are magnetized. So you can see the magnet there. Slips on there. And it holds strong. You can kind of move it if you want. Want to be a little gangster, tip his hat to the side. You can do that, but that is a really nice touch that it is magnetic. So that is one head sculpt. Now all of the two Plunderlings that I have, at least, they all have the same exact head sculpts, but they all have, you know, the different paint that's applied to it. So here's just kind of the standard smiling one there, and they pop off very easily, as you can see. Then here we have the smiling head sculpt. Same cuts in the ears, same color eyes. We get the teeth really showing there. That looks really good. Same shading on the ears. Really nice. And then for the last head sculpt, we got the open mouth smiling head there. So I think this one and this one are going to be my two favorites out of the three different head sculpts. So now let's take a closer look at Berserker Spurt. Oh, first we'll take a look at the goblet that Cursed Fury comes with. It's done in a nice gold color and with a little bit of blue gems in there. That looks really good. And then earlier, the way I had him holding it with the open holding hand, you could see right there, he could kind of slip his fingers right in between there, and he can hold it all fancy like right there. So, nice touch. Okay, so Berserker Spurt, he is a little bit different. So you can see he's got a little bit of purple shading inside of his ears. He has black eyes, but for the most part then the rest of it is actually going to be the same. The inner mouth is probably a little bit lighter in color, I would say, than the Cursed Fury. Like here, his gums are real red on the Cursed Fury, but on Berserker Spurt, they're very, very pink. Just minor difference. He does not have any clothing, so he's a naked ass goblin, whereas Cursed Fury had pants. Now some of the Plunderlings have clothing or pants, some of the other ones do not. The ones that do not, as you can see right on the knees, we actually get a little bit of the shading that matches the ears, so that is a nice touch. And then we get a little goblin butt there. Whoops. No clothing on this guy, but just like Cursed Fury, we get the same hands. So we get the open hands, and then we get the holding hands in the package. We have the same head sculpt, so we have there the smiling open mouth version. We have here the smiling version, and then we have the standard regular, like, smiling, no teeth showing. Well, two teeth showing. And again, this is one of my favorite, you know, of the head sculpts. We get this nice silver hat here, and again, it is magnetic, so you can just slip it right on there, and it's not going to fall off. It holds very nicely there. In terms of the accessories, he has here, this is more of a fish hook style. It's done in a nice silver paint, so I really like it. I really like the texture of it too. That looks really good. A little bit of part on the handle there, a little bit of off-white brown staff to it. Looks really nice. And then here we have this shell horn. This actually looks really good. It's done in this pinkish coral color, and it's kind of shiny, but we get a really nice silver paint applied right there for the handle where it attaches to the shell. That's really cool. It actually has a little bit of a hole there, and then you could do it like if you put it onto his hand as if he is playing the shell horn there. So that is really cool. Sorry, it just kind of fell off of his hand. But that is a nice touch that we got there. So really like that. Okay, so we'll go over the articulation. We'll start with Berserker Spurt first, and then we'll go to Cursed Fury. So Plunderlings can look down that much. They can look up that much, which is great because they are on a ball hinge. Actually, you can look down a little bit more than I had shown there. You get all kinds of crazy pivot going on in there. Full rotation, of course. You can do all kinds of crazy things. The shoulders you can get to go out that high there. You get a full rotation, of course. Watch out for those ears. You have a single jointed elbow with a swivel at the elbow. You can see they have large forearms compared to their bicep up there, so you get a perfect 90-degree bend at that elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge, and depending on the hand will be change the hinge. So the open hands have the horizontal hinge. The holding hands have the vertical hinge, as you can see there. So that is a nice touch. We have a diaphragm joint, so they could pivot to their left that much. You could pivot to the right that much, going back a little bit, coming forward a little bit, not a whole lot, and then you get a little bit of the swivel at that diaphragm joint. There is no waist swivel. Legs go out that far apart. It can kick forward that high. You have an upper thigh cut. We get a solid double jointed knee, as you can see there. No calf swivel or anything, but we get foot hinges down that much. We get a hinge up a tiny bit. Ankle pivot, pegals at the bottom of the feet. I think I have forgotten to mention these are 3 3/4 inch size figures, so just under 4 inches is how large these guys are. Now let's check out Cursed Fury's articulation, because he is a little bit different, but looking at it, I think the only difference is actually going to be the lower legs, but since he does not have the bandolier, the body straps, you could kind of see the tilting a little bit better on this guy. Going back, again, not a whole lot. Coming forward, again, not really a whole lot. The different hip doesn't really change the motion on the legs, how far he can go back, but you could really get them all crazy spots. So I know, like, kicking straight out, you could do that, but you could kind of turn it a little bit. You could really get the leg out pretty far. On the knee, you still get the same range, even though we have the cuffed gene there, so that's, you know, nothing to worry about there. The foot doesn't seem to hinge down as much. And then up is about the same. You still get the ankle pivot, so not a whole lot of difference on the ones that actually have pants, because there are several. But still, very good articulation. These guys are really fun. Okay, so that is my review of these guys. These guys are just really fun. Looking at Instagram, all the posts that I've seen kind of in my feed, some people have been extremely creative on what they have done with these Plunderlings, because they have the Caribbean theme to them, because the Lone Coconut is based out of the Dominican Republic. So it's nice that, you know, the fantasy theme and bringing in goblins and pairing them up as pirates in the beach and Caribbean theme is something very interesting. Something we really haven't seen. You know, when you think fantasy, you think elves and Lord of the Rings type stuff, but, you know, we don't ever think of the fun that fantasy can bring, and that's what Plunderlings does. And while these aren't Marvel Legends, what I'm usually used to in some of these other figures, these guys are really fun. I'm really thankful to Plunderlings for sending these out my way to show you guys. I was very curious, because so many people have been getting them, and I've seen everyone really praise them and talk about how good they really are. And the whole time I was thinking, you know, are they really that great? Having them in hand, they're really damn fun. That's what they are. These figures are just really fun. When looking at photography and things like that, it can really get your creative juices flowing. And then it doesn't really fit anything, right? You can kind of make your own theme, since it doesn't have, you know, all the Marvel comics and the movies or TV shows and everything to pull from on what you can kind of do. You can truly create your own thing with these. And I think that's just really fun. The accessories are really cool. I mean, the paint apps on the accessories are fantastic. I mean, nice silver on those weapons. Whereas, you know, like Marvel Legends, we would just get like gray plastic, right? And it just ends up looking really bad. They each come with a hat that's magnetic. How freaking cool is that? That we get something like that. I think that's extremely nice touch. As you can see, the jacket can come off Cursed Fury there. With interchangeable hands, swappable heads, fun little accessory pieces that these guys come with. I think it's just a really cool thing. The Kickstarter thing, I didn't know about it at the time. Would have been really cool to kind of get in on it and kind of go for some other ones. They had some translucent ones which looked really cool, and those were exclusive to Kickstarter only, unfortunately. But yeah, these things are just really fun, and I'm having a blast just kind of posing around. I'm trying to think of some of the things that I can kind of do. Not that I'm the best photographer, but it's got me really thinking and really getting my creative thoughts going. Whereas I don't normally do that, but because these guys are just so much fun, because they're really articulated for being, you know, 4-inch figures. I know in the past 4-inch figures used to be super articulated, whereas we just don't see that as much now. I think TVC is kind of bringing it back. Marvel kind of went even regressed even further by going to the Retro 375, which are like 5 POA. But these guys are just really fun, and I'm having a blast. So check out the links in the video description below if you want to put in some pre-orders for some of these Plunderlings that are going to be coming out later this year. Again, thank you to Plunderlings for sending these out my way so I can review for you guys. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of these Plunderlings? Which one is your favorite? Because there's quite a few to choose from. I know they had some fawns that dropped not long ago, and I know those were a pain to order. As soon as they dropped, they were sold out like right away. But you guys let me know down in the comments below. Which one is your favorite? What do you think of them? If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.